Hello guys and welcome to this video, Windows versus Mac. These are the two leading OS softwares with 73% of the market share going to Windows and 15 going to Mac. Windows laptops are just a little more affordable and work even with very less RAM as they don't offer that rich user interface that Mac gives but focuses on mainly the customization. It gives you a lot of customization, a lot like that. The Mac OS, on the other hand, works with a very high RAM and gives you a very rich user interface and is somewhat cleaner and more organized. But one thing to remember that is Macs are little on the expensive side, and there's nothing really to be surprised about, as the lowest MacBook Air is starts from 90,000 onwards. But Windows runs on any software, like any laptop company, and they are just a little more affordable. Without wasting any more time, let's jump in and have a look. So I'll be using an Asus ROG Zephyrus G14, and Summit will be using a Max Pro and a Max variant. Okay, you can see I've got onto Windows 11 software right now, and like he has said, yes, some of it, like the taskbar center taskbar, is got inspiration from Apple, which is quite true. And maybe these, if I get on to these, let me show you. Yes, here in music, if you see these type of icons also just look like Mac in a Mac, this blue color icon, while here it's yellow, it's somewhat like that. Yes, they've got inspiration. Uh, he has also said one more thing, that if you open a Safari browser, it will come and minimize it. It will come there, which is so much more easier. Let me show you an equivalent to that. Let me open the Edge browser. Okay, I've opened an Edge browser. I'm going to type something such as Windows. I'm going to type Windows, just for this, and a Mac here. Okay, now if I want to switch between windows, I don't need to press this. Like if it's minimized or that, if I press Alt Tab, both the tabs are coming here. This is the Mac tab and this is the Windows tab. So that is also a very easy thing what he's already stopped. Like this is the Mac one here and this is the Window tab here. So you can switch between two tabs. It's somewhat like that. So that is what he has spoken about a lot. Let's move on to the next segment and see you there.
See, I've hopped onto a Mac and it's much cleaner. It's much better down. Windows has gotten the inspiration from here and copied quite a few bits from this Mac OS. I'm not going to complain about that right now. Anyways, you can see the background pre-selected. I've made all these apps tiny for now. Anyways, so yeah, I'm one thing that I found really easy to use was if I have a Chrome or Safari tab open and I minimize it, it comes appears on the taskbar. It is just so convenient to click on that directly instead of going hovering over, selecting my window and then opening it. So that's just more convenient. Anyways, that's it for this segment of the video. So over to Abhi.
Ports. Now, to see, different laptops from different companies have different number of ports, and it's somewhat like that. But mainly talking about ports, it's somewhat like this. Somewhat like it's the numbers are same, but maybe this could be a one more or a two more. Maybe like there could be one extra port. So different companies, they have different number of ports. Okay, so let's look at these ports. So you can see this is one charging port here, as I've already written here, charging port. Then we have one HDMI port, then one Thunderbolt port, the Thunderbolt 3 port. A Mac, like he said already, it has Thunderbolt 4 port. The difference is a Thunderbolt 3 port can support 16 gigabytes per second, while the Thunderbolt 4 port can support 32 gigabytes per second. Then we have one more Thunderbolt 3 port here. Then we also have two USB ports. The difference is Macs, like the Mac, has only one HDMI port. It does not have USB port, and that's a problem. Because yes, it is a problem because if you want to connect something from the USB port, you can't. You need to buy some external thing and then connect it. Earlier Macs never used to even have ports other than the charging one, or it used to have one, two of them. But right now, the new Mac has they've introduced more ports. So now let's move on to the next topic.
The new M1 Max with the Max and the Pro have more ports now for, as Apple says, connectivity. Let's check them out. The both the Macs have a MagSafe 3, which everyone loves, and they brought it back, which is capable of faster charging speeds. There are still two Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left side, which you can charge a laptop from. There's a headphone jack that supports high impedance headphones. There's an HDMI port. There's also another Thunderbolt 4 port, and there's an SDXC port, which supports SD cards. And those are the ports. So over on to Abhi, with who will be talking more.
Apps on Windows. There are a lot of pre-installed apps on Windows, such as alarm and clocks, that is pre-installed, calculator, calendar, camera, contact support, Cortana, Office. You just need to buy the Office. They give you one small code and you activate it. Skype, as you all know, before that, Office is much more premium, and that's why you need to pay. Like in a Mac, you already get those for free, but because it's premium, it's Microsoft's product, you need to pay for that. Groove Music, Mail, Maps, Microsoft Edge, their browser, Microsoft Solitaire Collection, that's a gaming, their gaming, like to play some card games. OneNote, people to chat with somebody, and a video editor, which is actually really good. But yeah, it's not as good as iMovie. But yeah, it is actually good just to merge videos, or to add text on a video, or to add 3D effects, background sound. It's really good. But iMovie is obviously better, right? Let's move on to the next segment.
We're gonna move on to pre-installed apps. So Mac comes with a lot of pre-installed apps, as you can see here. Just a few of these are, well, I've installed them, but it comes with Safari, the browser, Mail, which is Mail, Contacts, Calendar, Reminders, which doesn't come in Windows. We get Notes, Maps, Messages, FaceTime, Photo Booth, Photos, iMovie, and GarageBand, which you do not get in a Windows laptop. iMovies is just more premium, just feels better and easier to use. GarageBand is also Apple's own composition software, which is also relatively easy to use. Then we get iTunes, iBooks, the App Store, of course, Pages equivalent to Word, Numbers equivalent to Excel, Keynote equivalent to PowerPoint. Now we get Preview to preview photos, a dictionary, calculator, dashboard, which is widgets, system preferences such as settings, mission control, Siri, and Mac Cleanup Pro. Other than that, we get all of these extra apps, which you will most likely use Bootcamp Assist to change to Windows software. Other than that, not many apps you get, but it is more than what a Windows laptop offers you. With that, we'll move on to the next segment. Over to Abhi.
Now this brings me to the CPU and storage of this laptop. The Asus ROG Zephyrus is a very powerful 14-inch home gaming laptop. It comes with 8 cores of AMD's Ryzen 9 4600 HS and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 graphics card that speeds through everyday multitasking and gaming. You get a RAM of 32 gigabytes, a storage of 1 terabyte, and a processor speed of 3.3 gigahertz. Now let's move on to the next segment.
So the new M1 Pro and Max, well, they have a lot of power, but exactly how much? This graph is the closest to what tries to show us the power. We're not going to be looking at power consumption, but the power. So the old M1 was somewhere around, you know, 1000 megahertz, and the new one, the M1 Pro and M1 Max, it starts from about 2.06 GHz and goes up to 3.2 GHz, and the M1 Pro is capable of delivering up to 200 gigabytes a second of memory bandwidth, while the M1 Max is capable of 400 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. These numbers just blow anybody away. And well, those are our CPU numbers. Let's move on.
The laptop I've been reviewing today gives you a battery life of about 10 hours. This is pretty good for daily tasks, but won't last you long if you're doing some heavy duty editing or gaming on the go. Apple focuses more on efficiency. This laptop won't be as mobile as a Apple laptop, but gives you a pretty good 10 hours on normal mode.
So, with all that power in the Max, how does the battery life, get affected? Actually, it doesn't get affected that much. They are incredibly efficient compared to the Windows laptops also. When it comes to power, the 14-inch model gives 17 hours of video playback, which translates about to 70 watts of battery. 70 watt, it has a 70 watt battery. With the 16-inch with a 100-watt battery, clocks in at 21 hours. This is incredibly efficient for you and your workspace. It can boost up your times sitting in one place, maybe on the sofa, and it's just easier to use on long trips. So that's the battery life for the new Max. So, after all that, which laptop is better for you? After hearing all the specs, seeing all the features, if you want to go ahead and make a decision for yourself, I'm not going to stop you. But if you do need some more help, here's some more information. On a Mac, you don't get as many apps on the App Store as you would in a Microsoft Store because it just has less apps and less creators willing to work on a Mac. But the Mac is also just clean, straightforward, and ready to use. Windows, there's a lot of things to customize and monitor and do, well, lots of things. So if you like really customizing a laptop and monitoring everything, well, go for Windows. But if you like everything clean and straightforward with easy to use UI, go for a Mac. Both, uh, another thing is Windows has a wide range of computers. Mac just releases two models every year, which is the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. Of course, you do have iPads, and you can attach, uh, you know, keyboards to the iPads, which do make pretty good um, computers. But nevertheless, they are running iOS, so just getting a MacBook would be easier. But If you want cheaper alternatives or maybe even really extreme alternatives, well, Windows offers its OS to a wide range of companies, and getting the perfect laptop for you will be harder because there are way more options. But if you have someone to help you, it will be a breeze, I want to say. And yeah, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, well, hit the like button. Please give us comments, tell us what we can do better. And if you haven't already, please subscribe.